Hey, how's everybody doing? Mike here, Gen X Arcade. And if you have purchased our kit to upgrade your mini PC to now offer light guns, I'm going to show you exactly what you need to do to install this into your arcade. So this is your existing mini PC that you already have, and it's currently mounted in your arcade cabinet sideways like this. If you have the back removed on your arcade, you will see this is mounted on the left-hand wall with the power button and these two USB ports facing up. So you're going to have your PC mounted just like that. You're going to take your player 1 USB that should already be lined up with this USB right here. You're using the one that's closest to the power button. Make sure you put your player 1 in there. Now you're going to take your USB splitter, which is right here, and you're going to now plug this in to where your player 2 used to be plugged into. So that's just going to plug in right there. And now you're going to see on here, you've got 4 more ports. Now, depending on if you have a 2-player or a 4-player, or if you have a trackball, is going to depend what you plug in here next. Now, you also want to make sure on the front of it that all of these switches are turned to the on position. So you'll see these two are not. So they all have to go. So if it goes to the left, that's off. Make sure all of the switches are turned to the right, and that's going to make sure that all of these ports have a connection to the PC. And you should see a little blue light on each one of these when it's plugged in and turned on. I've also installed double-sided tape on here, so when you have this in your cabinet, you can just peel the double-sided tape off, and you can stick this right on the wall, right next to where your mini PC is mounted. So remember, player 1 is going to get plugged in here. So now where player 2 was plugged in, it's now plugged in there. Now, take note of where I'm starting from. So you see where the wire comes in on this side. Now you're going to plug in this order. Player number 2 is now going to plug in here. If you have a 2-player arcade with a trackball, you're now going to plug your trackball into here. So closest to the wire, player number 2 goes here, trackball goes here, and that's all you're going to do with this, mounted on the wall. Now, underneath the computer, you'll see there's 2 more USB ports here. That is for this USB plug that's going to go on the front of your arcade cabinet. So I've also included, this is the drill bit that you're going to need. You're going to have to drill a hole in your arcade cabinet, and then you're going to mount this in place in that hole. These 2 USB plugs are going to plug into the ports right here on the bottom of your mini PC. Now you'll have this on the side of your cabinet or on the front of it, wherever you decide to mount it, and that's where you're going to plug your light guns into. Your light guns have USB wires on them, and they're going to plug right into that. Okay? Now, if you have a 4-player with a trackball, this is how it's going to go. Same as with the 2-player, where you're going to have player 1 plugged in here, then you plug in your USB splitter, then you're going to go, remember, always start at closest to where this wire is. Player 2, player 3, player 4, and then trackball. And like I said, make sure that these switches are turned on. If they're not turned on, then it's not going to work properly. And then you'll do the same thing and plug your guns in down here. So that's it, guys. Real simple assembly. I've made it as easy as possible, even giving you guys the correct size drill bit so you don't mess up your arcade cabinet when you're installing your USB plug. So if you guys have any questions on this, and if you're having any problems, please let me know right away. I'm happy to help. So as usual, guys, thanks for watching. Thanks for sharing. We'll see you next time at the arcade.